Hi there everyone, I'm Joe Redmond, Sky Agriculture Product Specialist for Opico. I'm here today at College Farm in Cambridgeshire, which is our trials and demonstration farm, and I thought I've got a spare 5 minutes, so I would just do a video to look at the key features of the EasyDrill and specifically what's been changed on this new 20 series EasyDrill over the previous versions. So let's take a look. So where do we begin? I suppose in the middle, really, with the chassis would be as good a place to start as any. This has been redesigned, so it's a V shape now, which is great because it means that we get better visibility into the centre of the machine there. So if we're working in wet and trashy conditions, just being able to see what's going on a bit more clearly is definitely a bonus. So that's something new for 2020. We've still got the same storage space here at the front of the drill, but they've just redesigned the latch and the hinges just to make it a little bit more easy to get into for us, but still the same size. Very nice to have usable cubby hole storage area. So not a massive change, just a refinement really. Slightly different headstock on this 20 series machine. So it's a Scharmuller category 3 pivoting crossbar. Nothing fancy, but just a little bit of a different design to what we were using before. Double-sided steps. Again, not much, but just quite nice so that you can get up to the hopper from either side, and the safety rail there as well. So the seeding line, the business end, the most important bit of the whole drill. Now the concept of the EasyDrill has always been the same, in that on the front we've got this rubber farm flex wheel, and at the back we've got a bogey mounted tandem press wheel, and in the middle we've got a pair of seeding discs. So we get a nice stable drilling platform with nice consistent seed placement. Really good system. The importance of having this front rubber wheel is that if you're working into cultivated ground, we're getting consolidation in front of the discs, or if we're working into a cover crop, they're rolling that cover crop down in the direction that we're going so that the discs can cut through it nicely. They also are where we set the depth. So you can see we've got these large turnbuckles here and a number of spacers. We slacken the turnbuckle off, move the spacers through this bulkhead, select the one we want, drop the whole lot down and tighten it up. It's a very quick, easy way of adjusting the depth and setting it. It's nice and secure, and one rubber tyre looks after 2 discs, so it means that we've got half the number of adjustments compared to the number of discs. They're also all along the front of the drill, so there's no reaching into the centre of the machine to adjust disc depth individually. All done along the front, nice and easy to get to. It also means that we can adjust the ones that run in line with the tractor tyres. So if we are drilling into a softer seed bed, we can set those a little bit deeper. So nice thing, very, very important feature of the drill. Now this whole seeding line was redesigned in 2019, and one of the less important features of it is the fact that they've just made it look quite pretty with this sleek centre support that everything's bolted off of. The important changes come, they've now gone to sealed hub bearings, so no greasing for the discs and for the rear press wheels, which is great because less time for maintenance, less downtime. But they've also changed the design of the coulter itself, which now bolts on around the bottom of the hub, and you can see it's this monoblock moulded skim coulter. We've still got a nice decent size piece of tungsten on the front there to make it nice and hard wearing, and the coulter tube, quite important, the coulter tube is separate to the coulter now. So the tube is straight, which means the seed gets a straight drop to the bottom of the slot. So as a result, we're getting better seed placement with this new 20 series coulter. But we've still got the same 3.5 degree disc angle, the same 250 kilos of pressure that the older machines had. So you know, it truly can be advocated as a direct no-till drill. Now I'm sure you've noticed we've got 2 outlets per disc. All Sky EasyDrills come standard as grain and fertiliser. They also have 2 separate circuits. So we've got the grain distribution head and the fertiliser distribution head, which means we get 2 outlets at this end. Now, this rear outlet, importantly, is not soil engaging, but we can move it through 3 different positions to alter where the depth of the second product, I say fertiliser because it most commonly is, but it could be a different cover crop species, it could be slug pellets, whatever you fancy really. In this position, in its most rearward facing place, it's going to be putting your product on the surface for the press wheel to push it in. Now we can move it one forward like that, and that will now be placing that product at half of the seeding depth of the disc holder. And then if we move it forward one more again, it's firing it into the bottom of the slot at seed depth. So that is why, as a minimum, we can apply 2 products, and we can do them at 2 different depths. Now, a part of the revision of the 20 series, what Sky wanted to do is allow us more hoppers. So if we come here, we can see that this machine has got 2 pro hoppers. So we've got the possibility of applying 4 separate products, all independently metered. So there's no separation of seed by having a mix of 4 things in one hopper, all independently metered, so it's accurate, and we can place them at 2 different depths. Now these pro hoppers, they can do half a kilo to 30 kilos a hectare. Oilseed rape, cover crop mixes, slug pellets, microgranular fertiliser, really, really good for all of that sort of stuff. I'll come back down here. So yeah, 2 different outlets, 2 different depths, up to 4 products. Now at the back, we've got these steel, cast steel tapered press wheels. They've got a floating scraper arrangement. Now this is important because these are completely spherical. We've got the scrapers that we can run against them. So even in really wet, sticky, cultivated ground, the machine is going to scrape itself clean and just keep running as long as you can sensibly be using it. So, you know, really, really good, versatile machine. Dry weather, wet weather. The seeding line lends itself very nicely to both. So that's the seeding line. For me, what makes this machine as versatile as it is this hydraulic ram. You've got one in the centre of each wing, and that is the weight transfer system. So that allows us to move the weight of the machine either over the front rubber wheels, over the discs, or over the rear closing wheel. So depending on the conditions, what we're drilling into, we can tweak where the weight of the machine is sitting so that it will run at its best and do the best job. Now, if you're going into cultivated ground, typically you'd have no spaces in there, which would mean that the ram closes completely and brings the weight of the machine forward onto the front rubber wheels to give you some consolidation in front of the discs. But if it was really hard and dry, we'd want a couple of spaces in there so that it would bring the weight over the discs. So we were getting the best penetration and the best depth that we wanted and seed placement. And you can then also add more spaces again to put more weight back onto the rear closing wheels here so that we're getting really good seed to soil contact, nice slot closure if the ground is hard and dry in August and we're planting rape or something like that. So not a very big feature in its size, but in terms of what it allows the drill to do is absolutely massive. And really for me, what allows you to get the most out of the EasyDrill in a whole host of different seed beds and different drilling conditions. Now, if we look at the distribution heads on this machine, this particular model of drill is what we call the eDrive Premium. So that means that from the control box, at the push of a button, we can set the machine to drill on different row spacing, so alternate rows or every 3rd row, depending on what it is we're planting. So we could set the machine to drill maize, we could set the machine to drill oilseed rape on 500 mil centres if we wanted. Again, you know, that's done from the push of a button on the control box. It's a very simple and accurate system to use. It also means that with the multiple hoppers and the 2 distribution heads, we can have on alternate rows and on every other row, we could have rape and fertiliser down one line together, and on the row next to that we could have a companion plant so that the rape's getting a nice row width where it's going to grow the best in theory, and you should get better light inception into the bottom of the canopy. But in the early stages of growth, when we don't want any competition with grass weeds, we can have a companion plant planted in the row between. So really exciting stuff. If you're getting into companion cropping and cover cropping and stuff like that, being able to plant different products on different rows is a very interesting thing. And this machine, like I said, you can do it from the touch of a button on the control box. So that's a new feature for 2020, is the eDrive Premium model. And that also comes with the larger diameter tyres that you see here, and we also get a reversing camera so you don't back it into the ditch. Very useful. Now this is the biggest update for me for 2020. We've got the new colour touchscreen control box, the Quartz 800. You can see here 4 hopper machine, 1, 2, 3, 4 hoppers, nice and clearly displayed. Forward speed, fan speed. We've got the tram lining across the top there. Left and right hand side section control down this side with the plus and minus 10%. Really clear, really easy to use. Such a well thought out control box. Calibration simple. Product setup. Select the hopper. Select the product that we want to apply. We'll do wheat. We'll do 180 kilos a hectare. Okay. That tells us what gear speed we need and what number the aperture needs winding out to on the metering unit. So it's really simple. Push the button and we can go and start the calibration down at the metering unit. So that is the same principle for all 4 hoppers. It is foolproof. It's so easy to use. It's brilliant. Distribution setup. It's in here. We can go in and we can select to drill on every other or every third row. You can see there, every third row. Because it's the eDrive Premium, it's push of a button. We've got those electronic valves on each outlet on the distribution heads, so we can set it to drill on any row width that we want. Same tram lining, again, because it's the eDrive Premium and we've got all of that electronic row control, we can drill on any row configuration or any tram lining width that we want. So just because it's a 6 metre drill, in this case I could drill tram lines on 32 metres, 28, anything. So if you're a contractor going between different farms and different sprayer widths, it's not an issue. Or equally, if you want to upgrade the drill but you don't want to change the sprayer and the widths aren't going to work out, with this it doesn't matter. As long as you put the sprayer width in, which side of the field you're starting from, and what your wheel centres are and your tyre width, that's all you need to do. It's as simple as that. So that, really, very briefly, is the new control system. So that's it from me here at College Farm. That was a quick roundup of the new features of the 20 series EasyDrill. I hope you found it interesting, and if you want to know any more, follow us on Twitter at Sky Agriculture, or on Facebook as well on the Oppico Facebook page, or there's also the website www.skyagriculture.co.uk. So yeah, get in contact if you want to know any more about the drills, or if you want a demonstration, or if you want to come and visit here at College Farm and see what we're doing. Thanks very much. Bye.